Sound check. Let's make sure we're live. Sound check. Let's make sure we're live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Ingrid Jones, and welcome to this live breakdown and prediction of Danny Garcia versus Robert Guerrero. Before I begin, this is going to be a little different because it is a breakdown show which I'm doing live instead of uploading the usual pre-fight prediction or thoughts. I'm just going to speak live about it, and a little difference as well. The time I do it pretty early. Got a lot of catching up to do. Before I say what I've got to say to you all, thank you for joining in. I'm going to give you my breakdown, my thoughts, my views, and then I will do a chat because I'm going to do two of these shows. One show to address Danny Garcia versus Robert Guerrero, which I think it needs to be separated, and the other will be on the WBA situation and the situation with Tyson Fury, the antics that happened last Saturday night with Deontay Wilder, and subsequently everything else to go with that. So that's it. For those of you who will probably get this replay afterwards and probably say to yourselves, why didn't you get to know about it early? I want to see how this works in terms of how far this video goes without me pumping it all out and pushing and promoting. So it's a pretty off the cuff thing, as I usually do, but I did make a promise this year that I would try and do regular live shows. So we're here now. Danny Garcia versus Robert Guerrero. To be honest, I think I said this about 6 months ago that I really wanted to see Robert Guerrero versus Danny Garcia. I think the main reason I wanted to see Robert Guerrero versus Danny Garcia was the two fathers, the Guerrero's dad and Angel Garcia. They both got something to say for themselves, and I thought those two themselves would be entertaining to see how those two characters came together and said what they had to say. I have to say to you, Danny Garcia, going back, way back, I saw him fight Ashley Theophane. Wasn't that high on him, and then I saw Danny Garcia fight Eric Morales, and I said in the first fight, I said, you see this fight here, this guy here, his left hook is lethal. I said, if that left hook lands on Eric Morales' chin, and I knew Morales took a good shot, I said, you know what, in the rematch, I said, you know, Danny Garcia's got a left hook, and if he catches Morales on with the left hook, I believed that he would knock Morales out, and he did catch Morales with a left hook and knocked him out. From that point onwards, I said, you know what, this guy takes a good shot. This guy seems to have, he's okay, seems to be a good fighter. He's on the up, he's going places. I see this guy takes a good shot, punches pretty well, and knows he's got a fairly good, decent boxing style. Not the most extroverted type of guy, but, you know, he was very softly spoken. I thought he'd go in places. Then he fought Amir Khan. That was the breakthrough fight for Danny Garcia for me. And I believed he'd knock, I believe that despite Khan's speed, I said the minute Khan decided to engage with Garcia, he'd walk onto that left hook, and that left hook would be the end of him. And I also knew that Angel Garcia would be key in this fight because I knew that Garcia would talk into Khan's ego, and Khan's always fought with a chip on his shoulder. Always fought, when I mean a chip on his shoulder, I mean that he has to prove a point that I'm the big man. I've got to prove that I can stand in the pocket and trade with you. And so that's what he did. He fell right into Angel Garcia trap. Didn't look great in sparring with and Freddie Roach, and I knew that was coming. They were coming to the end of their relationship. And as soon as Khan went into that last press conference and he stood up and says, "I'm gonna knock you out," I knew that he was gonna bring the fight to Garcia. And the minute he was gonna bring this fight to Garcia, with him, with his defensive vulnerabilities, and in fact his chin wasn't the greatest, having been knocked already out by Prescott, I knew that as soon as Garcia landed that left hook, was a matter of time. And I was just waiting for that, just the opportunity for Khan to leave his chin exposed, and boom. And I actually predicted it on my other channel, the Bayloric channel. You can check the prediction yourself. Garcia by KO. And, you know, Garcia did that. And I thought at that point, that would be the time for Garcia to really take off. That'd be really his time to take off. And I got to say, I was a Danny Garcia fan before that point. And then obviously his fight with the big fight against Lucas Matisse. I didn't know if he would be able to take the power of Lucas Matisse, say, and he went in there and he fought brilliantly against Lucas Matisse. Took Matisse's great shot, fight, great his punch power, and was able to fire back. Great fight, great fight. One of those fights, you know, you really look forward to seeing. And you know, I was saying, you know what, Danny Garcia is the man at 140. He's the man. Can't wait for him to step up and see if he could do the same thing at 147 pounds. Something happened. Garcia, after that fight, he said, you know what? I fought the best man in the division. I fought the best man in the division, and or the man that everyone most feared in the division, and I beat him. And it seems as after that point, for whatever reason, with the Garcias, his dad's mouth was always loud, so there was no problem with that. His level of opposition wasn't that great. He got beat by Guerrero. Then he fought a no-name guy. I think it was Rob Salika, knocked him out in 2 rounds. I didn't care. And then the Guerrero fight was bad, you know. And and as much as I'm a fan or I support my fighter that I like, my biggest problem is when I see my guy get beat and the other guy not get the decision. And then my guy, the guy that I'm supporting, actually turns around and says, no, you know what? He didn't win that fight. I won that fight. When you know down deep in your heart, you get beat, nah, you start to lose my respect there. Then he fought Lamont Peterson. And I said to a lot of people, you know what? Lamont Peterson will win this fight on points, but Garcia will get the decision. And I saw Lamont Peterson box rings around Garcia. And I swear I saw him say, you said to Lamont Peterson, you won that fight, man. You won that fight. And I swear I saw him say that. And then for him to come out afterwards and say, you know what? I didn't say that. Because the respect level of him has gone down. And he's become, for me, a guy that's very reliant on his left hook. Since the Matisse fight, very reliant on that left hook. And didn't look great against Lamont Peterson. Didn't look, he bored the pants off me when he fought Paulie Malignaggi. Well, for as far as I was concerned, was shot anyway. Now he fights Robert Guerrero. Now Robert Guerrero, on the other hand, I like Robert Guerrero as well. But for me, I've got the absolute utmost credit for Robert Guerrero, because despite his, you know, the fact that he came from lightweight and moved his way up, he's gone in there and he's fought against the who's who of boxing in his weight categories. Can't say Robert Guerrero's ducked anybody. Although Keith Thurman would tell you that he's been ducking him. He fought Thurman, you know, and he gave Thurman all that he asked for. So, you know, he fought Berto. You know, last fight that Guerrero had, if I don't remember rightly all the fight, but I think in the first couple of rounds, even first or second round, it looked like he'd been knocked out, like he was on his way out, you know. But somehow he got his way to the 12th round. So Guerrero is always in tough fights, hard fights, but exciting fights nonetheless. So you've got a situation of 2 guys I actually like, and 2 guys I wanted to see fight, not based on them themselves, but based on their fathers. Because you put Guerrero and you put and Garcia in the room together, they're nice guys, but they're not personalities that jump out at you. Then you've got the situation here. Now, bearing in mind, I have not seen it. I've not seen. I know there's a weigh-in, but coming up, and I haven't seen that yet. It's 5 o'clock here, so I guess if it's California time, 5 midday, 9 a.m. in California. So, you know, they haven't got the weigh-in yet for that. So. If they're in California, even New York time, it's midday. So I think I haven't seen the weigh-ins. I haven't seen the press conferences, because you know what? I haven't been really, despite the fight being here now, I've just not got no interest. Danny Garcia, I think, well, you know what now? If you get beat by Lamont Peterson and they give you the decision, you're the cash cow. So as far as I'm concerned now, it seems that you're gonna unless you get knocked out, unless you get chinned, you're going to go on and even if Robert Guerrero boxes your ass, you're still going to get that WBC title. You know, when you know a fighter is just, word's not protected, it's almost like there's an agenda there. There's an agenda there. And with Danny Garcia, he lost in his own country or in Puerto Rico, right? And then he lost against Lamont Peterson, and he hasn't looked impressive since the Matisse fight. And I've said it over and over and over again until somebody will listen to me. I think that fight against Lucas Matisse, they took out more out of Danny Garcia than a lot of people want to acknowledge. And since that fight, he has not been fighting the supreme or the best fighters in the division. And I think that they're just, you know, they don't want too many punishing fights. That's what I think. After that experience, no. We fought Matisse. We fought Matisse. We don't have to prove anything. We don't have to prove anything. We fought Matisse. We fought Khan. Two of the best fighters we fought. Okay, we lost against Guerrero. Yeah, we probably did lose against Guerrero, but we're not going to tell you that. Yeah, we did lose against Peterson, but we're not going to tell you that. We're going to tell it like it is. We're unbeaten. We got an O, and that's that. And we're not scared because we fought Khan. We fought Guerrero. We fought Peterson. So we ain't scared. We fought Eric Morales. Why should we be scared? We ain't scared. So when people say he's cherry picking, well, come on. The guy did fight Lucas Matisse. Now, I am, like I said, a Danny Garcia fan, and I'm not saying that his recent performance have been good, and I'm not even defending cherry picking. But if you're coming from the Garcia perspective, I can understand. I can understand where they're at. Do I agree? No, I'd love to see Danny Garcia in all the big fights. But, okay, now he fights Robert Guerrero. How do I see this fight going? To be honest, I think Guerrero's got a great shot in this fight, even though I think Guerrero is shot to bits. More shot than Malignaggi, or I'm having Paulie. More shot than Paulie. I actually think Guerrero's got a great chance of outboxing Danny Garcia. Garcia's best punch is his left hook. I don't think Garcia's got much of a right hand as much as his left hook. So I think because of the left hook, I think that the best punch for Southpaw to say is the right hand. And I think that Guerrero can nullify, if he's got anything left, he's got the speed and the movement to nullify Garcia. If he boxes, if Guerrero boxes, but if he decides to get into a war, which every fight he likes to get into, he'll get tagged with a left hook. Now, I don't think Danny Garcia is a bigger puncher as Keith Thurman, but I think even Keith Thurman's punch power is very much overrated. You know, Thurman has knocked guys down, but at the highest level, who's he actually knocked out at the highest level? It's questionable. Danny Garcia, you know, even though he knocked down Amir Khan, Khan was still able to stand up and continue fighting. I mean, well, the referee stopped it because he was, you know, all over the place, but he was still up, as opposed to when Prescott hit Khan couldn't get up. But it's down, some people say it's down to weight and all the rest of it. My thoughts are this: is Robert Guerrero able to absorb a left hook from Danny Garcia as a welterweight? I think Guerrero is more suited at the weight at the moment. I think Danny Garcia is reliant on the left hook. And if Guerrero can keep out the way of the left hook and just box, because there's nothing that I've seen in Danny Garcia at welterweight or when he fought Lamont Peterson, he didn't even drop Lamont Peterson. So there's nothing in the Danny Garcia armory as a welterweight that tells me that he is a phenomenally big puncher. And he doesn't have the fastest of hands, and reach, I believe, would go with Guerrero. Height, I think, goes with Guerrero. I haven't seen the anything that's been going in between. I think maybe there's been a press conference and something's erupted at a press conference. That's what I heard. But that's all hype. Bottom line is the two guys are going to fight. So for me, I'm going to back the fact that Guerrero's got something left in him. Garcia's the favorite coming in. But if you base it off the fact of just like Glaskov, a guy's been getting gift decisions. If you look at the fights that I think that Garcia has lost, take the unbeaten record away, and the facts are who I believe he's lost against. I think Guerrero's got a great chance in this fight. I think he's got a great shot in this fight. I think he's got a great shot of winning this fight. Long point decision. It just depends on what the plan is, and I think there's an agenda of Danny Garcia. And when I say it's agenda with Danny Garcia, I think Guerrero can outbox Garcia, but I think Garcia is going to get the nod. I think Garcia is going to become the new WBC champion. That's what I think. That's how I see it. But now I've done that prediction or breakdown, or very little breakdown. Now that I'm in the room, I've got 12 viewers in the room. I'm sure you've all been talking, and I haven't addressed you all. It's not that I haven't addressed you. It's just the fact that I want to do this breakdown and prediction first. Now, I know there's people in the room. I'm not being rude. Now I'm going to address the people in the room. So good afternoon to anyone who's in the room. And let's see what people are saying. Let's say. Redmond says, all right, Ingram in the room, Squire. Hello, Redmond. How you doing? Redmond says, bravado. Shows too much bravado, Khan. He's foolish. UK boxers, evening, all evening. Mr. Cutsy says, hi, Ingram and everyone. Hello. Cameron Gilliam Boxer says, Garcia beat Peterson. Well, I think that's... Cameron says, wasn't a robbery. Guerrero was a robbery. Peterson wasn't. Okay, that's a difference in opinion. No problems there. I'm calling the same on this fight, Ingram. Close fight that goes to Guerrero, but Garcia gets a nod. Michael Rep says, now Cam. Guerrero beat him 8-4. Garcia beat Peterson 7-5. Okay. Cameron says Peterson was far from robbery. A robbery is when someone clearly wins a fight. That fight was close, so no robbery. Mr. Cuzzy said, I haven't seen any build up to this one. What's everyone's pick for this one? Cameron says Garcia smashes Guerrero. Cameron says Guerrero was 147, is a come forward brawler. His skills was at 126, 135. He's done. I would disagree with you there in the sense that Garcia's skills also, he's been relied very much in his left hook. Redmond says, we've seen Garcia struggle with lesser fighters than Guerrero. Okay, how much has Guerrero got left? Yep, that's what I've mentioned as well. Mr. Cutsy says, fair one. What was I thinking? Cameron says, Guerrero hasn't had a single good win at 147. Well, you could argue that Garcia hasn't had a great one at 147 either. His prime was at 126, 135. Like I said, no chance Guerrero outboxes Garcia. Okay, Mike Tyson says, hi, Ingram. Mr. Cutsy says, Khan tried that and got smashed. LOL. Michael Redmond says, let's see Cam. Benjamin says, hi, Ingram. Michael Redmond says, yes. Cameron says, tune into my video this evening, doing a live video on Golovkin, breaking down his... Okay. Michael Redmond says, who overlooks his boxing ability, mate? Not me anyway. Okay. Let's keep moving on. Let's keep it moving. Right. Ben Blackwell says, how are we doing, Ben? I hope you're glad to see you in your room. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the Danny Garcia, Robert Guerrero. I still think, I mean, Cameron is in disagreement. He believes that Danny Garcia outboxes and smashes Guerrero. I personally don't see it because I don't see, if this was at the lower weight division, I would have probably seen that. I would have probably agreed with you there. But at welterweight, I'm not so sure. I think Guerrero is more suited at the welterweight at the moment. I think Danny Garcia is not an unbeaten fighter. He can be beaten. He has been beaten as far as I'm concerned, and has had some gift decisions. Cameron disagrees with me, but that's why we love the sport of boxing. And I love Danny Garcia, but you know, I'm not convinced that Danny Garcia is going to smash Danny Garcia is going to smash Guerrero. Not convinced of that. Keith Thurman didn't smash Guerrero. Andre Berto didn't smash Guerrero, and Andre Berto, I would say, is far more powerful than Danny Garcia. But hey, you know, the only thing we could say about Guerrero here is Guerrero, he's been in a lot of fights. So is this fight the fight that's going to catch up on him? But I've seen nobody smash Guerrero. Guerrero can hold his own at welterweight. Not sure about Danny Garcia's power at welterweight yet. I know that Peterson was outboxing him. That's what I do know, and I know that's why I'm basing it on. Mr. Percy says, my point was, Mr. Cutsy says, my point was Khan tried outboxing and got smashed, walked, waited like a cobra and struck it. Yeah, well, no, because Khan just rushed forward trying to knock Garcia out, prove a point. Fought with a chip on his shoulder rather than box, use speed of movement. Cameron says, the problem is because Garcia struggled in a fight or two, people are starting to say he's getting beaten in every fight. Now, I'll tell you something, if you can justify to me that Danny Garcia has been the same force since the Lucas Matisse fight, then I think you've got a point. Otherwise, I think that Danny Garcia has not been the same fighter since Lucas Matisse. And if you can show me one fight since the Lucas Matisse fight, and I'm not talking about that guy that he blew away in 2 rounds, which was a complete, not on the same level. I'm talking about, name fighters that he's gone out and done a number on. Who's the last time that Danny Garcia's gone out there and done a number on? Who's he gone out and sparked? He couldn't even get rid of Paulie Malignaggi, like punching Paulie Malignaggi. Why you make Paulie Malignaggi look like Floyd Mayweather? I mean, he was beating up on Malignaggi, but look what Sean Porter did to him. Just saying. And people think Paulie Malignaggi is shot. How many rounds did it take for Garcia to get rid of the light punching Paulie Malignaggi? I'm just saying. Michael Redmond, Khan chin, Lucas eye. Michael Redmond raises a point. Guerrero beat him, but every fighter has had a bad fight in their career. Mayweather, Castillo, Pacquiao, Marquez. No, I will not say bad fights. I would say styles make fights. I would say different techniques, different styles. You talk about Pacquiao, Marquez. You talk about Pacquiao, who doesn't like a guy who's a counter puncher. You're talking about Pacquiao now that overstretches when he throws punches and gets caught by a counter puncher. Marquez is probably the second best counter puncher in the world after Floyd Mayweather. You're talking about boxing science here. So a bad fight, I think Pacquiao's looked bad in all his fights against Marquez, right? But I think he looked spectacular when he fought Hatton. Stars make fights. You talk about someone like Castillo, but Castillo was, I think, still a top fighter. A top fighter that kept putting the pressure on, had a great chin, very good punch power, good body puncher. Castillo was no mug. Good fighter, so I disagree with those points there. He did a number on Rod Salik. That's what I'm saying to you. And who is Rod? Terrence Talbot. Mike Tyson. The fights in California there's going to be lots of Mexicans. They're supporting Guerrero. Indeed. Paul is a boxer. Says it all. There's my point. Paul is a better boxer than Khan. There's my point. But so how is Garcia going to smash Guerrero? I can't agree with you, Cameron. Sorry. Who stopped Paulie Malignaggi besides Porter? Hatton, Cotto. Let's see. Garcia. People say Porter was on Ped. He never looked like that in his life. Yes, but Cotto stopped Malignaggi and Hatton stopped Malignaggi. So there's 2 other guys that stopped Malignaggi. But yes, the Porter fight did look as if he did look like Mike Tyson, that fight against Malignaggi. So I agree with you, V's and Beats. Garcia is established world-level fighter. Thurman, who isn't, beat Guerrero. Garcia is proven at the moment to be a level above Thurman. Let's see what he does against Guerrero first before we start saying that at 147. Let's see what he does. I'm not convinced. Hatton Khan, thank you very much. Garcia wins this fight. We're not disputing he wins the fight. We're disputing how he wins the fight. That's the point here. And it's beyond how does he win. Does he do it impressively? He wasn't impressive against Malignaggi. He wasn't. He wasn't impressive against Peterson. He wasn't impressive against Herrera. Those are 3 fights. He wasn't impressive. Okay? I like Thurman. But okay, he's meant to be this dynamic puncher. But he dropped Guerrero got up. He dropped Bundu got up. He fought Diego Chavez. He ended up dropping him with a body shot late in the fight. So I'm just saying that when you get to certain levels, You may have been blowing people out at lower levels and knocking people out. That's fine. But as you move up in class, people's chins get better, people's boxing abilities get better, and people don't get caught with the same silly shots they do get caught at lower levels. Occasionally, people get caught with silly shots and get knocked out. That's different. Ego gets in the way and all the rest of it, but generally. So, light punching doesn't mean you get knocked out easy. See Tyson Fury. I don't understand. Where does Guerrero go if he loses this fight? This is make or break for Guerrero. Disagree. I think Guerrero is one of those guys that you can always bring up. He can be a gatekeeper. I mean, you know, I think Guerrero, you know, he could possibly fight against Malignaggi. You know, Guerrero's one of those guys you can put. He's got a name. I think you can still put Guerrero in places. Guerrero, Kell Brook, it could happen. Yeah, I think Guerrero's still got a future. Guerrero lost to Martinez in his last fight and got a gift decision. You guys forgot that. Now, I told you that I mentioned Guerrero the last fight he had. Wasn't he almost looked like he's going to get beat? Wasn't Martinez the fight before? Yeah, but Guerrero has been in a lot of fights. I'm admitting that. I'm not telling you Guerrero's I'm telling you that what Guerrero is past it. I'm mentioning that. I've mentioned that. So, and Martinez was basically a nobody going into that fight. Yeah, but Malignaggi was a light punching guy that had got stopped by quite a few guys and had got stopped in 2 rounds by Porter. Okay. So I'm just putting some things together here. I don't forget anything. I just say what I see. Not often Garcia is impressive. Picks his shots though. Yeah, it does. What the F has Guerrero done recently in 2015? Got beat by Thurman. At least he fought Thurman. Question is, could Garcia beat Thurman? Could Garcia beat Thurman? You not Guerrero. Guerrero has fought the best of the best of the best. The best of the best. He's fought the best guys, right? He's done that. Garcia hasn't fought the best at 147. He's fought Peterson, who, let's be honest, Peterson got done in a couple of rounds by Lucas Matisse. Matisse, I'm just saying. But Peterson went along and I thought was beating Khan. But then people say Peterson was on PEDs. You can't win. They gifted him in. Yep, he did get beat in Puerto Rico. Simple as that. Redmond says, calm down, mate. Let's see what happens. Then we can see. Then we can have this out. He said, Cameron says, I'm raging, mate. I'm on the verge of being done with boxing and going off to go for balls. I deleted Twitter because of this. Yeah, that welcome to the world of the boxing community. Been doing it for years, a few years now, and it happens. You're gonna get people have disagreements and have a difference of opinion. That's why the fight game is so good. And you know, I've been in the same boat as you, Cameron. I can just say to you is that don't take it personally. It just is. People are passionate, and sometimes that passion is misunderstood for it being personal. It's being personal. It's just, you know, it's just part of, you know, don't let it get you. Don't let it get you. Just about opinions. That's all. Need to speak about Brooke Khan, mate. I will speak about Brooke Khan, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to shut these live shows down. So I'm going to just bit by bit by bit by bit. So we've got this situation here. I'm doing the video on Fury WBC heavyweight division. I'm going to do something on that, and I'll do another live show on the Khan v Brooke situation. So I'm going to break it down in 3. So there's nice viewing, and people can get to see. We talk about different things. Let's see what people are talking about. Garcia Guerrero. V&B says Garcia had 1 fight at 147 and thoroughly dominated Paulie. Did better than Broner, but people still complain. Okay. Listen, I don't know if you heard what I said at the top of the show. I'm a Garcia fan. Just haven't been greatly impressed by him of recent. Beats and Beats says every fight can't be devastating. Khan or Morales KOs. Okay, that's valid. Cameron says you guys think Guerrero has a shot. You're not right, wrong, or you're not right or wrong. I think Garcia wins. I'm not right or wrong. We have another idea what will happen. Ruben would murder Angel in the streets. Says Jack Corley. Good evening, Jack. Oh, good afternoon, Jack. And then Danny's dad is ruining his career. I would have to. I think it's bittersweet with Angel Garcia, because Angel Garcia gives you the entertainment. I wouldn't want Danny Garcia selling any fight. You know, Angel Garcia is the thing that sells Danny Garcia, but at the same time, I understand what people are saying. Redmond says, exactly, mate, Cam. Boxing's the most corrupt sport in the world. Just have to take what we get. I've learned to just ride with it now. You just have to. Right. Has anybody else got anything to say about Danny Garcia versus Robert Guerrero? Please make your predictions now, and I'll just call them up, whether it be knockout, points. So I'll just add it and just put it here, and we'll just talk about it, and then I'm going to cut this, and then I'm going to go to Fury, the WBA situation, my thoughts on that, and you can share your thoughts on that. That'll be a second live show, and then I'll do a third live show, which will be Khan, be Brooke, and all the rest of that. Cameron says, I've got a lot to say. Great. Okay. If you can just keep it to Danny Garcia, Robert Guerrero, please. Terrence Howard says Garcia by KO. Okay, be interested. Garcia KO 7th to 8th. Okay, yep. Garcia points, Mansour KO. Yeah, I can see Mansour KO. Yeah, I can see Mansour win that fight by KO. I can do. Agree with you that. Technical draw, Mike Tyson says. Unanimous decision, Danny Garcia. UK Boxing News. Okay. Okay, unanimous point decision. I would like to see the unanimous. I mean, that would be impressive to see Garcia winning against Guerrero, unless Guerrero's got no fight left to him. V's and Beat says Garcia wins on points but doesn't look amazing. I think that sounds pretty good. I like that. Guerrero 75, but Danny gets a nod. I can see that. Cameron says Vasquez versus Martinez is better than this fight, the Garcia fight. The co-main event is really good. Great. Prediction, please, Cameron. I see you say Garcia. You know, points, I think. The only thing I will add to that Mansour fight, who made the Jack Corley, the Mansour fight, I hope it's Mansour that's the heavyweight Mansour that's not on Weight Watchers. I hope he keeps his weight back on so he can punch with full power, not the one we saw against Joey, which he seemed to lose weight to have more speed, but there was no snap in his punches. Garcia wins 8 rounds to 4. But you said earlier on, Cameron, you said he was going to smash him. Points. Okay, fine. I can see that. I'd like to thank Uncle Al. Yeah, I'll take this opportunity to thank Al Heyman for the Bayloric TV boxing channel. In all seriousness, Garcia wins fight 8-4 unanimous. Okay. Jack Corley says Mansour that heavy gets the KO. Yeah, man. Mansour's a beast. I like Mansour. I do. I would like to see Mansour versus Joshua. I think that's just a funny, it's just a good fight. Ha 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 ha, says Mike Redman. Maybe he will still be light as he changed trainer. Oh dear. Okay. Very quickly, I want to say thank you so much for tuning to this particular show of Danny Garcia versus Robert Guerrero. Coming to the end of the show now. I will be back shortly to do Tyson Fury, the WBA, and anything else to do with the heavyweight division. Another BS decision. Okay. Thank you all for watching. If you're not subscribed already, please subscribe. If you're not sharing the videos, please share the videos. And yeah, like them. Just click that like button. I really appreciate it. See you in a bit, lads. Pekka at the Tyson Fury show is going to be on in about 5 to 10 minutes. Just give me 5 or 10 minutes to reload up for Fury, the WBA, and yeah. And don't forget, guys, like the videos. I appreciate it. I'm out. Take care. See you soon.